What if the person you think you are is just a script someone else wrote for you? Picture this. You wake up, eyes barely open, and your hand automatically reaches for your phone, like you're on autopilot. You scroll through a feed flooded with perfect lives, influencers with flawless skin, friends on dream vacations, strangers flexing their hustle. You pause, tweak a photo, adjust the filter just right, and post it. You wait, a like, a comment, a heart emoji. For a fleeting second, you feel seen, alive, like you matter. But then, the glow fades, and a quiet ache creeps in. Who are you when the screen goes dark? Who are you really? This is the great deception of modern society. It claims your identity is yours to shape, but really it's handed you a costume. Every swipe, every post, every hashtag, a line in a script you never wrote. You're told you're free to be yourself, but only if yourself fits the algorithm's mold. Trendy, polished, approved. You're not building an identity, you're performing one. And deep down you feel it. That nagging sense that the person staring back from your profile isn't you at all. It's a shadow, a reflection shaped by likes, follows, and fleeting applause. Society has sold you a lie. Identity isn't who you are. It's who you're told to be. But what if you could tear up that script? What if you could step off the stage and find the real you waiting in the wings? Stick with me. We're about to unravel the greatest deception of all. Let's start at the very beginning. From the moment you're born, the world hands you a script for who you're supposed to be. Your name is whispered over and over until it becomes you. Your gender, your culture, your family's expectations, they're stamped onto your skin before you can even speak. You're a good child if you obey, a success if you achieve, a failure if you stray. Little by little, the world carves your identity, not from your heart, but from its rules. You don't even notice it happening. It feels natural, like breathing. But pause and ask yourself, when was the last time you chose who you are without someone else's voice in your head? This is the first layer of the great deception. Society doesn't just influence your identity, it constructs it. Philosophers like Jean Baudrillard, steeped in postmodern thought, say identity isn't some sacred truth inside you. It's a story, a collage of images and ideas stitched together by culture, media, and power. You're not born knowing who you are. You're taught, you're molded. And in today's world, the loudest teacher is the screen in your hand. The system, media, algorithms, culture has you chasing a version of yourself that's profitable, not true. It's like walking into a store with 1,000 outfits, all pre-selected, all designed to make you look like everyone else. You pick one, thinking it's your choice, but the store chose the options long before you arrived. Your identity, the thing that's supposed to be yours, becomes a product, packaged and sold back to you. And the scariest part? You don't even notice. You're too busy tweaking your bio, chasing the next follower, proving you're someone worth seeing. But what if you're already worth seeing? What if the real you doesn't need a filter to shine? This illusion runs deep because it feels so real. Society doesn't force you to conform. It seduces you. It dangles validation, belonging, a sense of making it, just enough to keep you hooked. But every time you mold yourself to fit its script, you lose a piece of the person you were before the world got its hands on you. The child who dreamed without limits, who loved without fear, who existed without needing to prove anything. That's the you buried under the likes. So the real question isn't just, who are you? It's, who have you forgotten to be? You think you're in control, don't you? You craft your posts, choose your hashtags, curate your digital self with precision. But let's be honest, are you building an identity, or is the algorithm building it for you? You're in the digital age, where the great deception of identity thrives. Your phone, your apps, your feeds, they're architects, shaping who you are. Philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls this the era of psychopolitics, where digital platforms don't just control what you see, they control who you become. Your identity is no longer a private truth. It's data, a collection of clicks, views, and reactions fed into algorithms that decide your worth. Social media platforms turn you into a transparent performer, always on display, always adjusting to what gets the most applause. You post a selfie, and the algorithm rewards you with hearts. You share an opinion, but only if it's safe enough to trend. You're not expressing yourself, you're optimizing yourself. Hans says this transparency strips away your mystery, your depth, leaving you as a predictable profile, a product to be consumed. Studies on problematic short video use, like a 2023 analysis of TikTok addiction, reveal why we're hooked. We chase self-compensation. Every like, every comment, every share, it's a hit of validation, a fleeting moment where you feel like you matter. But it's a trap. The more you seek that rush, the more you mold yourself to fit the algorithm's mold. And when the likes slow down, when the algorithm buries your post, that quiet panic sets in. You wonder if you're still enough. What happens when the applause stops? This is where the deception deepens. Self-deception. You believe you're free, that your posts, your profile, your brand are your choices. But are they? You think you're sharing your truth, but you're sharing what the system rewards. You're tethered to a machine that thrives on your insecurity. The algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. It predicts your next move, your next post, your next attempt to feel seen. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's 28, a marketing coordinator with a polished Instagram feed. Her posts, perfect. Sunlit coffee shots, gym selfies, inspirational quotes about living your truth. Her followers, 1,500 and counting. They love it. But offline, Sarah feels like a ghost. At night when the phone's off, she lies awake, haunted by a question: who am I without the likes? She started posting to share her life. But somewhere along the way, her life became the posts. She stopped hiking because it wasn't on brand. She stopped reading books because they didn't look good in photos. Her identity became a performance. And the audience wasn't even her. It was the algorithm. So let's ask the hard question. What happens when the likes stop coming? When the algorithm moves on? When your followers forget you? When the digital mirror goes blank? You're left with a stranger, yourself, or at least the version you've forgotten. This is the heart of the deception. Society doesn't just shape your identity, it hijacks it. It convinces you that your worth lives in your follower count, your engagement rate, your perfectly curated grid. But your worth, it's not digital, it's not a metric, it's not a performance. It's something deeper, something the algorithm can't touch. You scroll past lives that look better than yours and you feel less happy, less successful, less you. But here's the truth no algorithm wants you to hear. You don't need to be seen to be real. You don't need 1,000 likes to be enough. You are enough, not because of what you show the world, but because of what lives inside you when the screen is off. The deception is powerful, but it's not unbreakable. The first step is seeing it for what it is, a digital cage, dressed up as a stage. And once you see it, you can start to step away. You can start to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. What's the cost of living someone else's version of you? You've felt it, haven't you? That hollow ache when you scroll past another perfect life, another successful stranger who seems to have it all. Deep down, there's a whisper, "This isn't enough. I'm not enough." That whisper isn't failure, but a truth trying to break through. Chasing a constructed identity, one molded by algorithms, expectations, and applause, doesn't just reshape who you are. It erodes you, leaves you empty, anxious, burned out. And the worst part, the system is designed to keep you that way. In 2023, a Gallup study found that nearly 50% of high-income earners, people making over $100,000 a year, reported feeling their lives lacked meaning. These are the people who made it: the corner office, the verified account, the curated feed. They climbed the ladder, posted the highlights, won the applause. Yet half of them feel hollow. Why? Because the identity they built wasn't theirs. It was a performance, a mask rented from a world that profits off their insecurity. This isn't just a personal crisis. It's a psychological epidemic. Anxiety and depression rates are soaring, especially among those chasing society's script. A 2024 study in The Lancet linked heavy social media use to a 30% increase in anxiety among young adults, driven by comparison and the pressure to perform. The loss of authenticity is the heart of the cost. Most people never meet their true selves. They live and die inside roles crafted for survival, not truth. Social identity theory, developed by Henry Tajfel and John Turner, explains why. We're wired to seek belonging, to fit into groups. But in a world of algorithms and influencers, belonging means conforming. You mute the parts of you that don't fit: the group's aesthetic, the platform's vibe, the culture's rules. Over time, you forget who you were before the world told you who to be. But who's collecting the rent? The system, capitalism, social media, the attention economy, profits from your insecurity. An anxious you is a profitable you. The more you doubt yourself, the more you buy. The course to fix your productivity, the filter to perfect your face, the lifestyle to prove your worth. Social media platforms thrive when you're hooked. They're not built to make you whole. They're built to keep you wanting. What's the cost of this deception? It's not just burnout or sleepless nights. It's the slow death of your authentic self. It's the moments you miss because you're too busy curating, the dreams you shelve because they don't fit the brand, the quiet panic when you realize you don't know who you are without the likes, followers, and applause. How much of your soul do you trade for a double tap? The system doesn't care if you're happy. It cares if you're useful, if you keep scrolling, buying, performing. But here's the truth no one profits from telling you. You are not your metrics. You are not your followers. You are not your failures. You are something deeper, something the system can't monetize. That ache you feel, it's not a sign you're broken. It's a sign you're waking up. You've seen the deception. You've felt the weight, that hollow ache, that quiet whisper asking, "Is this really me?" It's not a sign you're broken. It's a sign you're waking up. The great deception thrives only as long as you stay asleep. But the moment you start to question, the spell begins to break. You don't need to burn your life down to find yourself. You just need to pause, to look, to listen. The real you is still there, waiting beneath the filters, the likes, the scripts. Awareness is liberation. As sociologist C. Wright Mills said, true freedom comes when you see your life through a sociological imagination, when you connect your personal struggles to the larger systems shaping them. That ache you feel, it's not you. It's the weight of a world that profits from your insecurity. But once you see the system for what it is, a digital cage, a treadmill of validation, you can start to step away. The first step isn't changing what you do. It's changing what you believe. You are not your followers. You are not your metrics. You are not the mask you've been taught to wear. Reclaiming your identity looks like small, defiant acts of authenticity. Unplug from social media for just one day. Sit in silence. No music, no phone. Just you. Ask yourself, what do I love when no one's watching? Write in a journal, not to post, but to hear your own thoughts. Say no to something that doesn't feel right. These acts sound simple, but they're revolutionary. They are you refusing to perform, refusing to let the world script your story. To reclaim your identity, you have to resist the pull, the pressure to be what's trending, what's approved. Ask yourself, what would I do if no one could see it? What would I love if it didn't get likes? Those answers are the map back to yourself, the path to an identity that's yours, not borrowed, not curated, not for sale. Let me tell you about James. He was 32, a graphic designer with a TikTok following that made his colleagues jealous. His feed was a masterpiece, sleek designs, witty captions, a life that screamed success. But every night, he felt like a fraud. He hadn't sketched for himself in years. Everything he created was for views, for clout. One day he turned off his phone. A whole weekend. No posts, no notifications. He picked up a pencil, not for a client, not for a platform, for himself. He drew for hours, messy lines, no filters, no audience, and for the first time in years, he felt alive. James didn't quit his job or delete his account. He just stopped letting it define him. He started creating for his soul, not his stats. That's what reclaiming your identity looks like. Choosing to be real, even when the world isn't watching. Stop performing. Start being. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about knowing you're enough, not because someone double-tapped your post, but because you feel it in your bones. If this resonates, if you're ready to find your true self, join us. Subscribe, not for the algorithm, but for you, because you're ready to ask the questions that matter. Try this tonight. Put down your phone, look in the mirror, and ask, who am I when no one's watching? That person, the one staring back, they're worth knowing. They're not a brand, not a metric, not a performance. They're you. The world will keep pushing you to conform, to chase, to prove. But you don't have to play that game. Every time you choose silence over scrolling, truth over trends, you take a piece of yourself back. You remind yourself that your identity isn't something you earn. It's something you already have. It's the spark that lights up when you laugh without posing, when you dream without planning, when you exist without justifying. Reclaiming your identity isn't loud. It's not a viral moment. It's the quiet courage to be you, unfiltered, unscripted, unafraid. And in that courage, you become something the system can't touch, a person who knows themselves, who chooses themselves, who is enough. You've seen through the deception, you've felt the cost, you've taken the first steps to reclaim yourself. And now, Here you stand, at the edge of a choice. Keep performing for a world that doesn't really know you, or step off the stage and become the person you were always meant to be. This is the power of the authentic self, the you that doesn't need likes, followers, or applause to shine. It's the you that exists when the screens go dark, when the noise fades, when the world stops watching. And let me tell you something. That version of you, it's dangerous, not to you, but to the systems that thrive on your conformity. A person who truly knows themselves, they can't be controlled. They don't chase, they choose. And that choice, that quiet rebellion, it is where the great deception of modern society begins to crumble. When you embrace your authentic self, you break that machine. You become unpredictable, unscripted, alive. You stop being a product and start being a person. The system, social media, capitalism, the attention economy, relies on your insecurity, your need to be seen, your fear of being ordinary. But an authentic self doesn't need validation, doesn't need a filter, doesn't need to trend. It's a flame no algorithm can dim, a truth no platform can bury. When you know who you are, you don't just resist the system, you rewrite it. You become dangerous in the most beautiful way, because a person who lives from their core can't be bought, can't be swayed, can't be reduced to a profile. So let's redefine identity. It's not the mask you wear for the world, not the bio you tweak, not the post you polish, not the life you curate. Identity is the internal truth that lights up when you're alone, when no one's clapping, when the likes never come. It's the child who dreamed without limits, loved without fear, and who existed without proving. It's the you that feels most alive, when you laugh without posing, create without posting, rest without guilt. Because real success isn't what others see. It's what you see when you look in the mirror. Do you respect that person? Do you know them? Do you trust them? That's identity. Not a performance, but a presence. Not a brand, but a being. Not something you earn, but something you already are. So let's ask the final questions. Who are you when the world isn't watching? What would you love if no one could see it? What would you say if no algorithm judged it? Sit with those questions. Let them sink in. They're keys. Keys to a door you've been afraid to open. A door to the self you've buried under layers of expectation. You don't need to be louder or shinier or better. You don't need more followers, more clout, more proof. The greatest deception is this, that you need to be anything other than you. Step off the stage, tear up the script. You are enough. Not because someone says so, but because you feel it in your soul. In the quiet moments when the world falls away, and it's just you, raw, real, alive. Know that this isn't the end, but the beginning. Reclaiming your identity doesn't mean you've arrived. It means you've started. It's a journey back to the person you were before the world told you who to be. It's messy, it's imperfect, it's human, and it's worth it. So I'm saying it again. Try this. Tonight, turn off your phone. Sit in silence. Write one thing you love, not for likes, not for shares, but for you. Maybe it's a song, a story, a dream. Hold it close. That's your flame, your truth, and your identity. Nurture it, protect it, let it grow. And if this speaks to you, if you're ready to live unfiltered, subscribe to the channel and join us. We're walking this path together. The world will keep shouting, keep demanding, keep scripting, but you don't have to listen. Every time you choose authenticity over applause, silence over scrolling, Truth over trends. You reclaim a piece of yourself. You remind the world and yourself that you are not a product. You are not a performance. You are a person, whole, worthy, enough. Your true self is a rebellion, a quiet revolution against a system that profits from your disconnection. And in that rebellion, you find something greater than success. You find freedom, not the kind sold in filters or follower counts, but the kind that lives in your heart, that wakes you up, that makes you feel alive again. So, step off the treadmill, turn off the spotlight, look in the mirror, and see the flame no one can dim. Welcome back to yourself. We've missed you.